Hey everyone, let's jump right into this. Today, we're doing an explainer on something that genuinely caught my eye in the automotive world, and honestly, it's about time somebody tackled this. We're unpacking all the details on Skoda's upcoming 2027 flagship electric SUV. This is a vehicle purpose-built to solve one of the absolute biggest, most frustrating pain points in the EV market right now. We're looking at the brand new Skoda Peaq, and we're going to explore exactly how it plans to balance massive family-sized utility with completely zero-emission driving.
Because, well, it really all comes down to this incredibly relatable question. Think about it for a second. Can an electric vehicle truly fit a 7-person family without forcing you to sacrifice cargo space or driving range? For years, the answer has basically just been no. I mean, massive battery packs naturally take up a ton of floor space, right? So they usually end up compromising the usefulness of the third row, or they just completely eat up all your boot space. Families have literally been searching for a unicorn here, a true, no-compromise electric family hauler.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap so you know exactly what we're covering today. First, we'll look at the family EV problem. Second, we'll meet the Skoda Peaq. Third, power, range, and charging. Fourth, modern solid design. Fifth, space and smart tech. And finally, beyond driving, mobile energy.
Starting off with Section 1, the family EV problem.
So the reality on the ground right now is that family EVs often force some pretty major compromises. If you actually look at the data, families who truly need the footprint and the flexibility of a 7-seat SUV, yeah, they are usually pushed right back toward diesel engines or plug-in hybrids. It's basically the only way they can get the sheer space they need for things like, airport runs, massive holiday road trips, and everyday child hauling duty without dropping an absolute fortune on a luxury badge. This whole packaging problem with EVs has essentially locked large families entirely out of the full electric transition, at least until now.
That brings us to Section 2, meet the Skoda Peaq.
All right, meet the Skoda Peaq. Now, the name itself actually tells you quite a bit about the brand's ambitions here. It's derived directly from the English word peak, symbolizing that this thing sits at the absolute top of their range. It's the pinnacle. And sure, it continues Skoda's long-standing tradition of having their SUV names end with the letter Q. But did you catch the difference? It is the very first Skoda SUV that does not start with the letter K. There's no Kodiaq, Karoq, or Comic naming convention going on here, and that's absolutely crucial. This marks a vital shift in their premium electrification strategy. It really highlights the standalone importance of this specific vehicle.
And just to give you a mental model of how massive this flagship actually is, we kinda have to contrast it against a familiar combustion-powered sibling, the Kodiaq. The Peaq is nearly 4.9 meters long. It's 116 millimeters longer than the Kodiaq. It's 5 millimeters taller, and it boasts a wheelbase that is a staggering 174 millimeters longer. Riding on the Volkswagen Group's dedicated MEB electric platform, that elongated wheelbase is what does all the heavy lifting. That's what provides the structural room needed for a genuinely usable third row and a completely flat floor.
Let's move to Section 3, power, range, and charging. So Skoda is launching the Peaq with 3 distinct powertrain variants, and they've broken down the data beautifully for us. We start with the entry-level Peaq 60. That features a rear-wheel drive 63 kilowatt-hour battery that still yields a very respectable 460 kilometers of range. But the real story here? That's the 90 and 90X variants. Both of these step up to a massive 91 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Whether you go for the 210 kilowatt rear-wheel drive or the 220 kilowatt all-wheel drive, Skoda is claiming a standardized testing range of over 600 kilometers. Guys, that is massive for a vehicle of this sheer size. It gives you plenty of headroom to absorb the real-world hits you always take from bad weather, highway speeds, and, a fully loaded cabin.
But look, a huge battery means absolutely nothing on a family road trip if it takes forever to charge. So this next number is absolutely critical. 28 minutes. That's the claimed DC fast charging time to get that massive battery from 10% up to 80%. Strong trip recovery is just a non-negotiable for a family hauler. A 7-seat EV completely stops being a convenient family solution the minute a quick rest stop turns into a 50-minute wait with restless kids. So it's great to see the Peaq is clearly tuned for real motorway work and actual holiday traffic.
Moving right along to Section 4, modern solid design.
Now I want you to picture the front end for a second. Skoda calls this their new tech deck face. They've actually ditched the traditional grille structure entirely. Instead, they're using a flatter, wider, glossy black illuminated panel that neatly houses all the forward-facing sensors and lighting elements. It's super clever because it brilliantly illustrates how you can clean up visual clutter while simultaneously improving the aerodynamic airflow right over the front of the vehicle.
Building on that tech deck face, which by the way evolved straight out of their Vision 7S concept car, we get a whole suite of really functional and aesthetic upgrades. You get these crisp T-shaped matrix LED headlights packing 18 individual light segments for a massive upgrade in night visibility. Down the sides you've got a high shoulder line, flush-style aerodynamic door handles, and massive 19 to 21-inch aero-optimized alloy wheels, the whole shebang. It's launching in 10 different exterior colors, and for those who want a slightly more aggressive, dynamic appearance, a Sportline variant will be available right from launch with unique gloss black elements. It all comes together to give the Peaq an incredibly substantial aerodynamic stance on the road.
Which brings us nicely to Section 5, Space and Smart Tech.
I'm just going to drop this massive number right up front. 1,010 liters. To put that into perspective, that is class-leading cargo capacity in the 5-seat variant of the Peaq. It is absolutely cavernous. But here's the pro tip. Even if you opt for the full 7-seat configuration, it still offers an incredibly usable 299 liters of boot space right behind that third row. Plus, there's an additional 37 liters in the front storage, or the frunk if you prefer. And honestly, that tells you far more about the daily, real-world usability for a busy family than just looking at the max capacity numbers.
When it comes to the brains of the cabin, Skoda is treating their tech as a highly practical tool, not just a flashy gimmick. You get a massive 13.6-inch vertical infotainment screen, which is great because it frees up dash width, and that's paired with a 10-inch digital instrument cluster to really cut down on eye movement while driving. There's an optional augmented reality head-up display too. But for me, the absolute genius is in the family-focused details. Things like a 25-watt dual phone box for wireless charging, which literally solves those multi-device family arguments before they start. And those absolutely crucial third-row USB ports. Small details, yes, but massive real-world impact.
The whole aesthetic inside is what Skoda is calling sustainable luxury. They're offering 5 different interior design themes, and select interiors go completely animal-free. They feature premium materials like Tectona and Suedia, intelligently incorporating over 50 kilograms of recycled materials into the build. It's a really wonderful eco-friendly approach that proves you absolutely do not need to sacrifice a premium, tactile luxury feel just to be sustainable.
And for those looking for ultimate comfort, there is an optional Relax package. This adds AGR-certified ergonomic massage seats, which are specifically designed for back health, electrically adjustable leg rests, front pillows, a foldable table, and premium 3D audio by Sonos. All of this is tied together with an integrated wellness app that actually has 6 different relaxation modes. Now, I know that might sound a bit indulgent, but honestly, fatigue reduction is a highly practical engineering choice for parents logging heavy mileage on long family journeys.
Now, for our final topic, Section 6, Beyond Driving, Mobile Energy. So the crucial point I want you to take away here is this. The Peaq supports bi-directional charging. Specifically, we're talking about vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-home functionality. Basically, this means the Peaq's massive 91 kilowatt-hour battery isn't just used for driving anymore. You can literally use it to charge e-bikes at a trailhead, power a caravan on a weekend camping trip, or even feed energy directly back into your house during an outage. This is a real game changer. It dramatically elevates the Peaq's utility, transforming it from just a standard electric SUV into a true mobile family energy device.
Skoda's CEO, Klaus Zellmer, really summarized the overarching ambition of this project perfectly. He stated, "The Peaq brings a new sense of scale, smart functionality, and progressive design, setting a benchmark for what a modern Skoda can be." This vehicle isn't just about filling a market gap. It's designed to elevate the entire brand's perception, not just over in Europe, but eventually in expanding global markets like Australia and India too.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly exciting question to ponder. Will the Peaq's true flagship size, its 600-kilometer range, and its highly practical advanced tech finally be the total package that pulls buyers away from those much more expensive, premium-badged SUVs? The stage is certainly set for its global debut. I highly encourage you to keep exploring this space, and as always, thank you so much for learning with me today. Catch you next time.